Good morning, students. We came to the end of the theory part of work energy power. Last topic this is. In the last class, what we are discussing, what is meant by elastic collision, what is meant by inelastic collision, we discussed. What is meant by elastic collision? In a collision, if both momentum and kinetic energy are conserved, then that collision will be called elastic collision. In a collision, if only momentum is conserved, then that will be called as the inelastic collision. Clear? So, next topic will be expression for final velocities. Expression for final velocities in one-dimensional elastic collision. Expression for final velocities in one-dimensional elastic collision. Collisions we can classify as one-dimensional, two-dimensional and three-dimensional. So for easy to understand, two bodies are moving in the same straight line. They collided. Again they move on the same line. Then that collision will be called as the one-dimensional collision. If the after collision also, if the bodies are confining to travel in the same straight line, then that collision will be one-dimensional collision. Understanding? Here one body is there, here another body is there. It is moving fast, it is moving slow. That's why both are collided like this. After collision also, if the bodies are moving in the same straight line, we can say that collision is one-dimensional collision. Clear? After collision, if the this body moves like this body moves like this. Assume two cars are going on a road, they are collided. One car moves towards this side, another car moves towards this side. Then that will be called as the two-dimensional collision. If the motion is confined to a plane, not on a line, after collision, then it will be called as the two-dimensional collision. For example, two or more cars are collided, we can observe in movies. One car jumped into the air, then that will be three-dimensional collision. So along z-axis also, if the movement is there after collision, then that will be called three-dimensional collision. So now what is the topic is expression for final velocities in one-dimensional elastic collision. Clear? So for this, I am considering two bodies of masses m1 and m2. Here I am drawing two bodies. Masses are m1 and m2. They are moving with velocities u1 and u2. Okay? Two bodies are there, their masses are m1 and m2. They are moving with what velocities? u1 and u2. So, consider two bodies of masses m1 and m2. Consider two bodies of masses m1 and m2 moving with velocities u1 and u2 respectively. means m1 is moving with velocity u1, m2 is moving with velocity u2. They collided. If u1 greater than u2 means if this velocity is more, that velocity is less, the bodies will collide with each other. The bodies will collide with each other. Okay? u1 greater than u2, the bodies will collide with each other. Let the collision is one-dimensional elastic collision. We are assuming that collision is one-dimensional collision. They collided like this. After collision, their velocities, we are assuming it as m1, v1 and v2. Before collision, their velocities are u1 and u2. After collision, their velocities will be v1 and v2. Like that, we are assuming. Okay. Let the velocities of bodies after collision are v1 and v2 respectively. Let the velocities of bodies after collision are v1 and v2 respectively. Like that we are assuming. So what is this collision? What we assumed? This is elastic collision. So in elastic collision, what will be conserved? What is the definition we discussed? A collision in which both momentum and kinetic energy are conserved. That collision will be called as the elastic collision. So, in elastic collision, both momentum and kinetic energy will be conserved. Okay, both momentum and kinetic energy, they will be conserved in the elastic collision. So next point, from law of conservation of linear momentum. Here momentum is conserving, na? That's why from law of conservation of linear momentum, what we can write here, conservation of momentum means what? Total momentum before collision is equal to total momentum after collision. Its momentum will be m1 u1. Its momentum will be m into v, so it becomes m2 v2, m2 u2. Sum will be total momentum before collision is equal to m1 v1 plus m2 v2, m1 u1 plus m2 u2 is equal to m1 v1 plus m2 v2. So this value m1 into, you bring this m1 to this side, take m1 common here, m1 into u1 minus v1 is equal to m2 into v2 minus u2. Let it be equation. One point is clear. Bring this v1 to this side, this u2 to that side. In this 2 take m2 common, in this m1 common. So m1 into u1 minus v1 is equal to m2 into v2 minus u2. That is from law of conservation of linear momentum. Clear? Next, we will use law of conservation of kinetic energy. We will use that from law of conservation of kinetic energy. What it is saying? Total kinetic energy before collision is equal to total kinetic energy after collision. Its kinetic energy will be half m1 u1 square. Its kinetic energy will be half m2 u2 square. Total kinetic energy means half m1 u1 square plus half m2 u2 square. Its kinetic energy is how much? Half m1 v1 square plus half m2 v2 square. That is total kinetic energy after collision. So what we can write here? 1 by 2 m1 v1 square plus 1 by 2 m2 v2 square. Point is clear. Total kinetic energy before collision is equal to total kinetic energy after collision. Then that collision, that is called law of conservation of kinetic energy is valid. So in all of that, what we can cancel? Observe, halves we can cancel. Okay. This m1 term you bring to this side. This m2 term you bring this to that side. m1 you take common, m2 you take common. So m1 into u1 square minus v1 square. Halves already cancelled. This term we brought to this side. This term we are bringing to that side is equal to m2 into v2 square minus u2 square. Okay. From law of conservation of linear momentum, we are writing this equation. From law of conservation of kinetic energy, we are writing this one m1 into u1 square minus v1 square is equal to m2 into v2 square minus u2 square. Clear? Now you do 2 by 1. 2 by 1 if you do m1 into u1 square minus v1 square by m1 into u1 minus v1, this by this is equal to m2 into v2 square minus u2 square by m1 into v2 minus u2. Equation 2 is this one, equation 1 is this one. We are dividing this to m1 into u1 square minus v1 square by m1 into u1 minus v1, this by this. What? Here also m2. This one, m2 into v2 minus u2. m1 will cancel. m2 will cancel. Clear? This one, u1 square minus v1 square. We are writing it as u1 plus v1 into u1 minus v1. This we are writing u1 minus v1. This one, v2 plus u2 into v2 minus u2 by v2 minus u2. A square minus b square means a plus b into a minus b. This also, a square minus b square is equal to a plus b into a minus b. These two will cancel. These two will cancel. Then what we will get, see, u1 plus v1 is equal to v2 plus u2. Okay? Don't listen simultaneously, write along with me, pause the video, copy the steps, then follow up will be there. Just like movie, like that, if you are listening, it is not reaching to you. Write, then it will be easily reaches to you. Okay? So, then bring this u2 term this side, this v1 term to that side. Then what will happen? u1 minus u2 is equal to v2 minus v1. Let it be equation 3. Clear? This u2 term we brought to this side, this v1 term we took that to that side. Here u1 minus u2 will be called relative velocity of approach. v2 minus v1 will be called relative velocity of separation. Therefore, relative velocity of approach is equal to relative velocity of separation. Relative velocity of approach is u1 minus u2. Relative velocity of separation will be v2 minus v1. This one is equal to this one. Relative velocity of approach is equal to relative velocity of separation. Clear? Understood? Next. Then how to find the final velocities? That v1, v2 values, how to find using this u1, u2 values? Let us see. Okay. From 3, this one, v2 is equal to u1 minus u2 plus v1. This v1 you bring to this side, then u1 minus u2 plus v1. This v2 value you substitute in the equation 1. What is the equation 1? Substituting v2 in 1. On substituting v2 in 1, what is the equation 1? m1 into u1 minus v1 is equal to m2 into v2 minus u2. v2 value is this one. So, u1 minus u2 plus v1, m2 into v2 minus u2. Point is clear? m1 into u1 minus v1, it is okay. m2 into v2 minus u2 na. v2 place we substituted this one. So, expanding what we will get m1 u1 minus m1 v1. This is m2 u1 minus u2, that will be minus 2 u2. So this will be minus 2 m2 u2 plus m2 v1. Okay, this term you bring to this side, these two terms this term you bring to that side, this one you bring to this side. So what we will get, see, m1 u1, this term you bring to this side, minus m2 u1, this also 2 m2 u2, this term you bring to that side, m1 v1 plus m2 v1. This is m1 v1, already this term is there, m2 v1. In these two, we can take u1 common. So, m1 minus m2 into u1. Here this value 2m2 u2. This value m1 plus m2 into v1. Bring this one to this side. If you separately divided for the two terms, then how much we will get here is v1 is equal to m1 minus m2 by m1 plus m2 into u1 plus 2m2 by m1 plus m2 into u2. So, this is the formula for calculating v1. What is the formula? m1 minus m2 by m1 plus m2 into u1 plus 2m2 by m1 plus m2 into u2. Okay. Next, v2 value. For getting v1 value, what we did? Try to remember what we did. From equation 3, we wrote v2 value, and that v2 value we substituted in equation 1. So we got v1 value. Next, from 3, if we write v1 value, and if you substitute that v1 value in equation 1, then you will get the v2 value. Understanding? What is equation 3? u1 minus u2 is equal to v2 minus v1. Relative velocity of approach is equal to relative velocity of separation. v1 I need. v1 is equal to v2 minus u1 plus u2. This v1 I brought to this side, these two terms I took to that side, v2 minus u1 plus u2. Understanding? Next, on substituting v1 in 1, on substituting v1 in 1, what is the first equation? m1 into u1 minus v1 is equal to m2 into v2 minus u2. m1 into u1 minus v1, this one. So, minus v2, or one more step. u1 plus u2 m1 into u1 minus v1 is equal to m2 into v2 minus u2. You keep that same. For getting v1, what we did? We wrote v2 value and we substituted here in equation 1. We got v1 value. Try to understand the logic. So then here what will happen? m1 u1 minus v2 plus u1 minus u2 is equal to m2 into v2 minus u2. Okay. So here how much this is? u1 will be 2u1. It becomes 2m1 u1 minus m1 v2 minus m1 u2. u1 will be 2u1, so 2m1 u1 minus m1 v2 minus m1 u2 is equal to m2 v2 minus m2 u2. Simple only, just mathematical steps. All these are rearranging the terms, that's it. 2-3 times if you write on the paper, easily you can get the marks. 5 marks, very, very important question this is. So we need v2 value, na? That's why I am taking this to that side. This m2 u2, I am bringing this to this side. Okay? Then what will happen? 2m1 u1. This term you bring to here. m2 u2 minus m1 u2. If you bring this term to this side, m1 v2 plus m2 v2. Clear? So this is 2m1 u1 plus, in this 2 you take u2 common, m2 minus m1 into u2. In this you take v2 common, m1 plus m2 into v2. You bring this term to this side, then what we will get? v2 is equal to 2m1 by m1 plus m2 into u1 plus m2 minus m1 by m1 plus m2 into u2. So in this way we got the velocities after collision in one-dimensional elastic collision. m1 is v1 is equal to m1 minus m2 by m1 plus m2 into u1 plus 2m2 by m1 plus m2 into u2. v2 is equal to 2m1 by m1 plus m2 into u1 plus m2 minus m1 by m1 plus m2 into u2. Using these two equations, we will get the final velocities of the body after collision. In this subcases will be there. We will discuss that subcases in the next class. Just it will take 10-15 minutes time. With that, this chapter will complete. We will start doing the problems in this chapter. When we are doing the problems, keep the textbook along with you. Then it is easy for you to follow. We will do all the problems in the exercise. Okay? We will stop now for this.